Yo, we're back here for the OKCPS's Coaches Show. Here on CBS Sports Radio, 105.3 FM here at Dick's Sporting Goods, 6601 Southwest 3rd Street. Here in Oklahoma City, we are brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods, SNU, Casey's General Store, Scissortail Waste Solutions, Automax, Grin More Sneaker Boutiques, and Big O's Poke and Dreams. Listen, we got a full house tonight. We have Douglas Wrestling up first, Bailout girls and boys basketball, and Classen SAS middle school girls and boys basketball. But we are coming out of the gate first with Douglas Wrestling head coach Jermell Perry, along with student athletes Kamron Jackson and Mariah Hawkins. Let's give them a hand on tonight. Well, Coach Perry, man, let me say, I knew you looked familiar, but now I really know. So,
yes, sir.
A fellow frat brother in the house on tonight, man. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
With a couple of your student athletes. So Coach, tell me about this wrestling experience at Douglas.
Well, the wrestling experience at Douglas has been amazing. Ever since I got there last year, I had the opportunity to start my freshman year with Kamron in his freshman year. So we've been able to build this program here together. And one of the most beautiful things about Douglas program is they allow for me to see my vision out and everything that I want for the program. So I have the full support from the Douglas Athletics.
And so tonight we have 2 state qualifiers, right?
Yes,
so,
sir.
Mariah, tell us a little bit about how did you get involved in wrestling?
Well, I started at Dell City.
Okay.
And then we moved to the Douglas area.
Sure.
And then I just went to Douglas.
Really? So who really inspired you to get into wrestling?
I would have to say my cousin.
Really?
Yeah.
So what has that been like for you? You qualified for state, right? So how do you feel about that? And tell me, what was your record during the season? And, tell me what you're looking forward to. And when does the state wrestling tournament start?
Well, I think it's the 25th, right?
Yes, 25th
it's the 25th and 26th. And actually, I'm really excited, nervous at the same time.
Sure. So you kind of looked at the bracket already, or has that been put out so you know what you're looking at?
A little bit.
All right, so I'm going to move over here to my man, Kamron. So tell us, man, how has it been?
It's been really good. My season's been really, I've been happy about it, but at the same time kind of gone downhill since I haven't been able to reach my goals as I set at the beginning of the year. But so far I'm 24-4.
Yes, sir.
So I think I did pretty good.
It don't sound bad to me, actually. I mean, pretty good.
It sounds amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I started off pretty young, going with Stanfast, a group up in Edmond, I believe. And my mom just put me out there, wanted to do something positive and just stay in shape for my other sports.
Sure. So, Coach, tell me what you're doing with Mariah and Kamron as they prepare to go to the state wrestling tournament.
Okay. Well, I don't want to give out too many
details,
but what we have been doing, we just been making sure that we're working on our technique, making sure we're working on our tempo, because we want to make sure that we're well conditioned. One thing about Kamron and Mariah is whenever they push the pace against anybody, it's almost hard to stop them. So we want to make sure that we get them properly conditioned, because their technique and, of course, their tempo and tenacity is always up to par.
Mariah, tell me the one thing. You're excited about going to the state wrestling tournament, but tell me that one thing, that one exciting moment you've had thus far this wrestling season, like that moment that is kind of etched in your brain.
I would have to say I really don't have a certain moment, actually.
They're all good for you.
Yeah.
Now, so how, are you pinning people? Are you pinning a lot of people?
A couple.
A couple?
Some of them were take balls.
You just were scoring too many points and it was over with? No, it's all good. So let me ask you this before I go to Kamron. What is your go-to move?
Probably a 2-on-1.
Two-leg takedown?
No, a 2-on-1.
I don't know what that is.
No.
You want me to explain it?
Yeah,
okay,
please.
So when they have your collar tie,
yeah,
you grab from here on both and you pop it up and shoot.
Okay, that's far more technical than I ever would have been, but clearly you do it really well. Kamron, tell me that one moment for you. That's your highlight moment, and then tell me what your go-to move is.
Well, I'll say Saturday, right?
Yes, sir.
I got up after I won against Perry to qualify for state.
And Perry historically has had some great wrestlers.
Yes.
Cool beans.
Yeah. And as soon as I got up, I looked at my coach, pounded my chest, and smacked his hand and just gave out the loudest scream because I was so happy.
Man. So that's pretty cool, man. You have done an amazing job. So, Coach, tell me how did you get into coaching wrestling? And then share with me some of your philosophies that you're trying to impart in these young wrestlers.
Okay. Well, I originally am from Michigan, and I wrestled in Michigan. So when I came here to go to college at Langston University, they didn't have a wrestling team. So
your Michigan basketball coach is pretty violent, I heard. No, go ahead. I'm sorry. That's the job.
But yeah, so once I got here, we didn't have a wrestling team, so I didn't have the opportunity to pursue it at the college level once I left junior college. But I put a post out on Facebook. My love for the sport was still there, and I just was intrigued in seeing if I had the opportunity. I first started off at Millwood High School as far as a head wrestling coach. But then I got over to Douglas because I had a connection with Dante Stephanie because we went to Langston together.
Gotcha.
And then once I got there, then it felt like home. So it was like the best place for me to be.
And we're glad you came to Douglas.
Yes.
So thank you.
And now some of my philosophies that I teach is just our tempo, our tenacity, and technique. We also work on our offenses a lot. We utilize our offense as our defense as well as our defensive techniques. But we figured that as long as we're on the offense trying to score, the name of the game is score points.
Sure.
So we're there to put up points.
Gotcha. So Mariah, tell me, what have you learned from being a wrestler, right? Like there's something that you take off of that mat that you apply to your everyday life, right? So if that's hard work, if that's like really processing stuff, tell me what you've learned that you really picked it up on the mat and you use it in everyday life.
Trying to listen.
Huh. I'm sure your mom's over there.
yes.
She probably would say.
Trying.
Trying to listen.
Trying to listen.
You hadn't quite figured it out just yet? Nah, that's really cool. So Kamron, tell us, man, before you answer that question, tell me about these two plays that you made in the Douglas Mount St. Mary football game because somebody needs to know that obviously you get it done on the gridiron too.
I could say about like a 10 to 15 yard pass that I caught that I led to like the leading touchdown to come back. And I'll say the fumble, the last play of the game, I sacked the quarterback for a fumble recovery. And from there, we won the game.
You the MVP. So tell me that one thing that you take from just being in athletics and particularly wrestling that you use in everyday life, that you learned that on that mat and it has aided you in your life today.
Putting my pride to the side. Taking my wins like I take my losses. And I just take that and just like, if I lose, I get up, look at the next man, shake his hand. Just as in the classroom or in real life, it is what it is.
So, Kamron,
take it as it is.
Let me tell you, that was a very mature response, obviously, and listening is as big, but because sometimes you don't always win, right? And so your attitude and mentality has to be consistent in this approach, but still hungry to get it done the next day.
That's right.
So, Coach, tell me what it's like being a wrestling coach at Douglas. What are some of the things that you share with your athletes as it relates to how they have to represent themselves as they walk in those hallways because they represent their families, they represent you, their team. So what do you share with them?
Really, I talk to them a lot about just representing everything of what you spoke about.
Sure.
A lot of the times, the kids their age, they just think about themselves, and they don't understand that you're representing your mom, your dad, your family, your last name, Douglas Athletics, not just in the classroom, not just in the hallways, but also when we're out competing. You know, we're out competing, majority of the time, we're one of the only black teams there, so we want to make sure that we uphold the standards and let everyone know that we know how to act as well. So it's all about discipline, and it's always about good character.
Gotcha. So Mariah, as you are going to the state playoffs, to the state wrestling tournament, how has your classmates responded to this incredible achievement in your life?
Well, some of them are actually nicer, but the girls, they nag a lot. They trying to get me in trouble, basically.
Okay, well, don't you get in trouble. Do not fall into that, right? So how are your other teammates? How are those students around campus responding to an incredible achievement for you?
Well, Douglas really isn't a wrestling school, so
Sure.
it's really not much of a big talk around the school, but it seems like everybody wants to bet money against me to see how good I am, which I'll gladly take it.
Well, we're not promoting betting, people.
That's right.
It's not what we're doing. I think the bill is going to the legislature in a few days, but not today. No, it's all good.
But yeah, they take it pretty well, and they treat me fairly well.
And so it's not known as a wrestling school now, but with your success, with the things that you guys are accomplishing, and I'm not sure when the last Douglas wrestler made it to the state wrestling tournament or not.
10+ years.
So 10+ years. So you guys are really on the cutting edge and doing some really good things. And so you imagine, what year are you, Mariah? What grade are you in?
Oh, ninth.
Ninth grade, and you are?
Sophomore.
So you guys, listen, you're setting the bar high for yourself because you're starting off making it as a sophomore, making it as a freshman. So I'm sure what I hear Coach saying is no reason why you shouldn't be making it the rest of your time here. So it's a lot of work. So, Coach, what do you do about training, right? So weightlifting and dieting, what is your conversation with them about hitting those, because you got to be a certain weight to wrestle.
That's true. Well, I try my best to explain nutrition, but some of my wrestlers, more than others, tend to not take heed to that. Well, once they realize the hard way how to make weight, then they start to listen to Coach a little bit more, and then they start to go ahead and make weight. But for us, it's really more technique over everything. We make sure we have our proper technique when we're training, because that's really the most important thing. Is technique over everything. And then after that, it is the conditioning, it is the diet, and those are the big three.
How do you incorporate weightlifting and all of that in terms, or is that a big thing during the season to lift and all of those things?
For us, not so much.
Sure.
For us, it's more body weight.
Gotcha.
You have to be able to control your own body weight. You're wrestling in a weight class, a certain weight class, so we want you to be able to handle your own body weight. You can be able to push weights up and down, but if you don't know how to be able to move it with the proper leverage and things of that nature, you could just be the strongest guy in the world, but it's not going to be able to pan out on the mat.
Gotcha. Mariah, tell me, what is your pre-wrestling mat ritual, right? So what are you doing? What are you listening to? How do you get in that mental space to prepare for this wrestling match?
Well, I'm walking up and down the side, smacking my legs.
Oh.
And I'm thinking about the moves I'm going to do when I get on the mat.
Gotcha. So no music? All right. Cam, what's your pre-wrestling ritual?
Well, I walk the mat. I stare the man down and think to myself, this isn't the day he's going to get me. And that's my
No
ritual.
music prior to getting there? You just got that natural.
In my own head.
Absolutely. So let me start with you, Cam. What wrestler, right? Like, who is it that you are looking at on YouTube or out there on the World Wide Web? My favorite wrestler was Jimmy Superfly Snuka, right? That's old. You have no idea what that was. But what wrestler are you looking at, right? Trying to emulate, and who is that inspires you?
My coach. He taught me everything I know. I watch his film, pick up his moves and pick up his technique, and just really just take on the lifestyle that he did as a high school student.
Gotcha. That's pretty cool, man, and I'm sure Coach appreciates that, being an inspiration. Mariah, who are you watching? I don't know any women wrestlers, right?
I don't watch women wrestlers.
So who are you watching?
I would have to say the team.
The team.
On YouTube.
Oh, I got you. Okay. So YouTube has come like second place for education, right? We're learning so much out on YouTube these days. Coach, I know we're getting ready to go here in a few minutes, but tell me, who out there would you like to say thank you to, your supporting staff or your other coaches, administrators? If you got a chance to tell some people thank you, who would that be?
Well, first I would like to tell my high school coach, Coach Wells, thank you, because he's the one who actually got me in the sport, and he put all the effort in to me being a great wrestler. So when I hear Kamron saying that I'm his inspiration. This is my first time hearing it, so that's very gratifying. But I'd like to say thank you to my coach for putting that into me and instilling that into me, as well as William Fierce, my athletic director, Mr. Jones, the principal, because they're really behind me in the things that I'm asking for. You know, they may not know exactly about the sport, but they don't question my decision making, so I do appreciate them for all the support that they're giving.
Cool. Mariah, who would you like to say thank you to?
Coach, and then I'll say my mom and my aunt.
I was going to say, is your mom standing over there, and if you don't say her, it's going down.
Yes.
And your little brother is pointing at himself, too.
No.
Cameron, who would you like to say thank you to?
My mother, my father, especially both my coaches, Coach Will and Coach Perry, and Josh Powell.
Cool, man. Well, listen, we want to thank everyone, Douglas School administrators, everyone. Thank you to Coach Perry and to Mariah and to Cameron Jackson for being on tonight. Listen, we are about to take a break, but you're listening to OKCPS's Coaches Show here on CBS Sports Radio 105.3 FM. Brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods, SNU, Casey's General Store, Sizzletel Waste Solutions, Automax, Grin, Morris Sneaker Boutique, and Big O's Pork and Dreams. I'll see you on the other side.
Oklahoma City, I'm Miles Perry, and I want you to tune into my show, Super Prep Live.
Super Prep Live takes an in-depth look at the Oklahoma high school student athlete and what makes he or she become great at what they do. Super Prep Live can be heard on OKC's CBS Sports Radio 105.3 and Instagram Live.
Make sure you tune in and learn about the next great student athlete on Super Prep Live with me, Miles Perry.
Injuries don't wait for business hours. Now you can be seen 24/7 for sports injuries. Whether you have a sprain or a broken bone, at the SSM Health Bone and Joint Injury Clinic at 13401 Northwestern.
The thing with car buying nowadays is just how many options there are when it comes to where to actually get a car. Dealerships, websites, auctions, private sellers, and so on. But knowing exactly where to get your car loan makes it all much less stressful. That's where Communication Federal can help. There's a reason we're known for auto loans around here. Lots of car options and lots of places to buy, but only one choice for an auto loan. Communication Federal Credit Union.
Instead of fighting your heartburn, block it with Prilosec OTC. Taking one Prilosec OTC in the morning can prevent excess acid production and block your heartburn all day and all night so you can get that full night's sleep without heartburn flare-ups. Prilosec OTC uses directed for 14 days to treat frequent heartburn, not for immediate relief.
You may be into punk rock, soft rock, or classic rock, R&B, hip-hop, or house, country, techno, or techno country.
You guys say something in there.
Kind of music
Should be
you
good.
listen to, here's something else you should hear. Please consider.
It's Christian McNeil, right?
Yeah, it is.
And
this is Jaden Perry.
Jaden Perry. Gotcha. All right.
That's D minor.
BELLE.
Bailout. He got a deep voice.
I do.
All right, you guys heard how this went.
I think I gotta leave.
We're getting word Shannon's headed to Taco Bell?
When you need a taco, you need a taco. Introducing the new Cantina Crispy Chicken Tacos. Try them with creamy chipotle or avocado ranch sauce. Only at Taco Bell. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for limited time only. Contact local store for hours and participation restrict.
Life is a gift. 4 powerful words that make us pause and think of how and why we are here in the world, and what we should do with the life that has been gifted to us. At United Way of Central Oklahoma, we and our partner agencies believe in our hearts that the more we give, the more we share the gift of life with the homeless, the disadvantaged, the broken, and those in crisis. Life truly is a gift. So please, consider giving today at UnitedWayOKC.org.
Geico presents Motorcycle Sounds. If you hear this, and within 15 seconds, you already know that it's a 6-speed cruiser with a wheelbase of 120 inches, a V-twin 2-cylinder engine with a max torque of 110 foot-pounds, a bright yellow body, black upholstery, chromed out wheels, a nice clean fairing, and a big dresser in the back ready to tour, Well, then you probably ride a motorcycle. So you probably know that Geico could save you even more when you bundle motorcycle with your home or car insurance. Geico Motorcycle. Save even more when you bundle.
James here with Boomer Kia. Heard this before? Location, location, location. There's one location for the best deals on a brand new Kia. Boomer Kia. Go to boomerkia.com, click the iPreCheck banner, and get pre-approved instantly, all without hurting your credit. Then get to Boomer Kia off I-240 in South OKC.
Love it.
Yo, we're back here for OKCPS's Coaches Show. Here on CBS Sports Radio 105.3 at Dick's Sporting Goods at 6601 Southwest 3rd Street. Sponsored by Dick's Sporting Goods, SNU, Scissor, Casey's General Store, Scissortail Waste Solutions, Automax, Grinmore Sneaker Boutique, and Big O's Pork and Dreams. We just had Douglas wrestling, but now we have Bailout girls basketball and Bailout boys basketball. We are joined by Coach Christian McNeil, student athlete Jaden Perry, and we have Deandra Minor. Let's give them a hand. Thank you for being here on tonight. All right, so Coach, it's on you, man. Tell us about Bailout men's and women's basketball tonight.
Obviously, we got two really important players to the program with Dee and Jaden here. Both, during the season led the teams. A lot of different categories, points, assists, things like that. I know it's my 7th year coaching at Bailout Middle School. We're really typically known as the academic school, so this is kind of our first exposure to something of this caliber up to this point.
And you guys are now a part of this OKCPS system, if you will. Mm-hmm. And then you guys finished what? Runner-up, I think, in ACAC?
We did.
So that's a pretty big deal, right? Is this your first year competing in the ACAC or your second year?
So this will be our first official year from spring to spring. Mm-hmm. And so far we've been a pretty competitive team for just joining the conference, because at this point with 2 runners up in basketball, a championship in baseball, softball, and a runner-up in soccer, I feel like we're really showing like this program's just more than academics.
Absolutely, absolutely. So Jaden, so tell me, man, how this basketball season has been for you, man. Tell me the high moments that you've had.
The basketball season, it's been, it was good. We definitely had a lot of ups and downs. I mean, not a lot of ups and downs, some up and downs.
Sure. That's just a part of it. Tell me, when did you start playing basketball? Who's kind of been who was your inspiration that started you off playing basketball?
My inspiration, when I started, it was like ever since I can remember, probably I don't know.
It's all good. So you've been playing a long time.
Yeah.
Right.
Who really got me into basketball? It was John Wall.
Okay, cool beans. John Wall.
Yeah. Wizards.
Oh, got you.
Yeah,
I got you now. The NBA player.
Yeah.
All right, cool. D Moore, is that what they call you? D minor, that's what it is. Look, I just got to read. So tell me, how's basketball been for you there, Belle-Isle, and tell me about the high moments you've had with this season.
It's been good. It's interesting. This is my first year actually playing middle school basketball. I play AU, but not school ball.
Sure.
So, yeah, it's definitely been interesting.
So how different, can you tell me, is you playing at school been so different from AAU basketball?
Really, it's no difference, really.
Sure.
Just go out and play.
Sure. Is the competition a little bit different in the AAU ball? Obviously, you're traveling around.
Right, yeah.
Sure. So what's been your inspiration for basketball? Who started you off playing basketball?
Really, I don't know. I think I just got a goal, just started shooting, and then fell in love with it. But ever since then, I've been playing.
So, Coach, tell me a little bit about your philosophy in coaching. Mm-hmm. What are the things that you're trying to accomplish with your middle school boys basketball team?
So I'd say my philosophy comes from my dad, who coached me basically up to the 5th grade, and a bunch of other high school coaches have been a huge influence on me, and obviously preaching things like defense first, making sure on that end, like we're taking care of business, either running a press or running man, whatever the defense is. And then obviously the philosophy while we're in the game itself, it's just playing your heart out. Don't leave anything on the floor. Don't leave anything to chance. And I think that's this team this year definitely, other than being extremely talented in practices and games, they were willing to compete every single second they were on the floor.
Sure.
They were willing.
So Jaden, tell me, man, tell me your favorite side of the ball. Is it to play D, or is it to play offense?
You know, it's definitely playing defense, but I don't know. Over these few last months, I've been, you know, trying to get more into offense than I should defense. But yeah, more on defensively.
Gotcha. So D minor, tell me, what side do you like the best, offense or defense?
Opposite of Jaden, offense. But lately, been playing more defense and getting more steals and blocks and using my height as an advantage.
So D, let me ask you this. What is your go-to move, right? Are you a shooter, or you got a legitimate crossover, or what do you call this, Euro step, which I really think is a form of traveling, but, you know, I'm old, so what do I know? So tell me, what's your go-to move?
Spot-up shots, threes, yeah.
You shoot them all the time?
Yeah.
Your coach gives you the green light?
Right.
My coach never gave me the green light. Jaden, who's been that, other than Wall, right? So what have you learned on the basketball court, right, that you use in everyday life, right? One thing you learned on that court.
Is definitely to have confidence and, you know, have that killer instinct.
Gotcha. UD?
Yeah, confidence and to just, like, take your anger out on the court. Not literally, like.
No, I think you meant literally.
Yeah, but
she's Bowen people on the court, people.
Just, yeah, confidence, shoot with confidence, play with confidence, help your game mentally, and that'll make you perform better.
Coach, with you talking about Bailout being a rigorous academic school, how do you as a coach help these young student athletes balance the academic rigor with the athletic requirements?
Right, and I would say, like, a lot of our students, definitely our student athletes, we've seen many instances of where I don't necessarily have to get on to them. Now, here and there I may have to, but for the most part, they take care of business. They're incredibly mature for their age.
Sure.
And they definitely show it in the classroom, definitely on the court. So I usually don't have too many concerns academically because, again, those are, like, things we push really heavily to make sure, you know, if basketball doesn't work out, you got something else to fall back on.
Gotcha. So tell me, what does a practice look like, right? So Jaden, is he a hard coach? But Coach, you describe what your practice looks like.
I almost kind of want Jaden to answer.
Okay,
first.
Jaden, you can answer it
first.
It's definitely a hard practice. You know, we run a lot. You know, trying to get our endurance in, and you know, because especially with, you know, with me and all the other players like Kavion and all of them, we definitely run a lot just so if it comes to a close game, you know, we'll stay focused, and even though we're tired.
Absolutely. So I know Coach Bowen isn't here, D, but what does practice look like for you guys? Is it the same level of intensity and running that you see with the boys? Just maybe describe a little bit about what does that practice look like for you all?
It's not mostly running. We run, though, but really plays and just go through plays, drills. Pretty not too hard, but yeah.
Gotcha. So you guys have aspirations to go on to high school and play, and to even potentially go on to play collegiate sports?
Yes.
And so you kind of, Coach, what is your conversation with these student athletes about just preparing them for high school, but you also are talking out there too, because now in recruiting starts in middle school almost, right?
Yeah, you tell them sometimes we'll see a scout at one of these 8th grade games. But I say for both, you know, D and Jaden and everybody else is kind of here, I just wanted to choose the school that, one, is going to help them further advance in not only academics but definitely athletics, because I definitely want that both sides of the coin for all of them. And obviously they got to make that decision with their parents. My hope is, like, they find a school that basically has both.
Gotcha. Well, listen, let's give them a hand. We're going to switch with these other student athletes. And so everyone is going to switch up, and we'll switch and get these other two. So listen, as you guys talk about and listen to these student athletes, it is certainly an amazing opportunity what OKCPS is providing for these student athletes in all of these areas to play these sports. The facilities are changing. New schools are coming in to be a part of what's happening at OKCPS, and so we're super excited. So as we make this transition, we have 3 more student athletes that I am going to let introduce themselves. So starting with you, tell us your name.
My name is Ada Phillips.
What position do you play, Ada?
Wing.
Wing. You shoot it all the time?
I shoot.
Shoot more is all I'm telling you.
Yeah, shoot more. I just need to shoot more.
Tell me your name.
I'm Haley Clark.
Haley Clark, what position do you play?
Forward.
Forward, all right. You post, you know some back moves,
Sort
drop
of.
steps, got a hook shot. They don't shoot that anymore. That's an
I'm
old
not sure.
shot. Tell me your name, sir.
I'm Kavion Akisanyu. I can run the 1, 2, or the 3. Don't
1,
really
2, or the
matter.
3.
Yes,
Can
sir.
you touch the net?
Yeah, I'm getting there.
You getting there?
I can touch the net.
Okay, cool. So starting with you, Ada, tell me what has been your highlight moment playing at Bailout basketball?
I feel like my highlight moments have been my defense moves and what I have built myself up to against other players.
All right, same question.
Well, my highlight moments probably learning how to play and just.
Is this your first year playing?
Yes, it is my first year.
Have you enjoyed it?
Yes. a lot.
Absolutely. Is this something you think you want to continue to play?
Yeah, I'm gonna play high school basketball.
Okay, that's well. You got to start somewhere, and obviously, you seem to have a great attitude about learning this game. So that's pretty cool. You, sir, tell me.
My highlight moments is probably scoring when it's in tough games and just seeing my teammates get hyped for me. It really builds up our momentum so we can score more points.
Gotcha. So let me ask you this question. We'll go back to you, Ada. I just asked Coach about balancing the academic work along with the requirements athletically. How do you balance that? And then are you ever in a place where you feel like you can't get it all done?
Yes, but I just tell myself I know I'm good at what I do, so I can improvise, I guess.
You can manage your time better and be prepared. You can answer the same question for you.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
How do you manage the academics and the athletics?
Oh, okay. Well, I just kind of push through. I'm just I know I can do it, and I just kind of just go along with it.
You guys are great students. I'm just telling you. I would have not done something well, which would have probably been the school, but you guys are much better than me. Tell me.
My mom always told me school comes first, so I knew in order to even play basketball, I had to keep them good grades, get all my schoolwork done.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Tell me the basketball player that you're watching to emulate your game after.
Me?
You.
I'm going to have to say Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, my favorite player right now.
Oh, that's the guy that plays for the Thunder.
Yes, sir.
All right. Why do you like him so much?
I just feel like he's one of the smoothest players in the league. He's definitely underrated.
He shoots a lot.
He definitely shoots a lot. He can blow by his defender. I honestly want to model my game after him.
Gotcha.
Yes, sir.
Tell me, who are you watching?
Well, I kind of just watch I just don't really have a specific person.
No, it's all good. Ada, how about you?
I look up to my stepdad. He's not a player, but he's really good at what he does.
Oh, cool. So, you guys, what skill have you learned on the basketball court, right, that you apply to your life, right? Whether it's hard work or what is that one thing you've learned? And I'll start with you because you're in this kind of embryonic stage, right, of learning this game. So tell me, what is that one thing you've learned thus far?
Willpower and just pushing through the stage of not really knowing what you're doing and then going, building up what you have, and just got to push through. And
no, that's amazing because those are what we call transferable skills. So you can certainly learn how to push through because life is full of adversity. So you're learning some important things.
I feel like communication and supporting each other is a big, really important in basketball and in real life.
Gotcha. Tell me.
For me, I'm going to have to say confidence. You're more accurate. You get more stuff done when you're confident, stuff like that. It definitely helps me out in life, being confident.
This is an odd question, and I'll start with you. What is your energy food? What is that thing that you're eating before the game? So for me, when I was in middle school, it was chocolate chip cookies and milk. I just thought it made me like Superman. But tell me, what is yours?
Me, I don't really like to eat before games, but if I had to pick something, it'd probably be like Skittles or something like that.
Marshawn Lynch, right?
Right.
I get it.
What I eat before a game is I normally eat half of a Cliff Bar.
Oh, a Cliff Bar? That's so healthy. You guys are so good.
I just eat fruit.
Oh, my
fruit
gosh.
before the game.
I got no Snicker bar around here. Nobody eating a burger before the game.
No.
Oh, my gosh. Well, listen, we got about a minute to go. Who out there would you like to say thank you to, because they've really been a super big help to you as you've developed as a basketball player?
Me?
Yes, you, Ada.
My stepdad, my mom, they've just encouraged me through my whole career. They've taught me so much, and they just, like, support me through everything. So
Gotcha.
I couldn't thank them more than anyone else.
Gotcha. Who would you like to say thank you to?
I'd like to say thank you to my family for like inspiring me and pushing me
Gotcha.
to do better, and my coach.
Cool beans.
I'm gonna have to say my teammates, my coach, but most definitely my mom. On and off the court, I know she just wants me to be the best me possible.
Well,
So.
listen, I think based on what I've heard from all of you guys tonight, you guys are going to do extremely well, not just in athletics, but in life altogether. So, listen, let's give them a big hand. You're listening to OKCPS's Coaches Show here on CBS Sports Radio 105.3 at Dick's Sporting Goods, brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods, SNU, Casey's General Store, Scissortail Waste Solutions, Automax, Grinmore Sneaker Boutique, and Big O's Pork and Dreams. I'll see you on the other side of this break.
The thing with car buying nowadays is just how many options there are when it comes to where to actually get a car. Dealerships, websites, auctions, private sellers, and so on. But knowing exactly where to get your car loan makes it all much less stressful. That's where Communication Federal can help. There's a reason we're known for auto loans around here. Lots of car options, lots of places to buy, but only one choice for an auto loan. Communication Federal Credit Union.
Oklahoma City, I'm Miles Perry, and I want you to tune into my show, Super Prep Live.
Super Prep Live takes an in-depth look at the Oklahoma high school student athlete and what makes he or she become great at what they do. Super Prep Live can be heard on OKC's CBS Sports Radio 105.3 and Instagram Live.
Make sure you tune in and learn about the next great student athlete on Super Prep Live with me, Miles Perry.
Injuries don't wait. For business hours, now you can be seen 24/7 for sports injuries. Whether you have a sprain or a broken bone, at the SSM Health Bone and Joint Injury Clinic at 13401 Northwestern.
Right there? Yep.
Test it. Good.
And yep. Micaiah Moore?
Yes.
Micaiah, all right.
Testing.
Do you want the best for your car? Then fill up with premium at Circle K. Circle K Premium is our best fuel with double the cleaning detergent.
Micaiah Moore is like Mia Moore, right? The basketball player. The girl.
Maya Moore?
Maya Moore. Look at you. You helping me out.
For more cha-ching,
Maya.
Plus, when you fill up with premium at Circle K, you can save up to 20 cents per gallon. Offer valid Thursdays or Fridays at participating stores. For details, visit CircleK.com. Circle K.
1 minute.
Convenient.
I said Mia, right? No, Maya. Maya Moore, right? She was really good.
I convinced NFL teams to turn to cold water washing with Tide.
The NFL, your uniforms get dirty.
Tide can handle it, even in cold. Plus, if fans join in, they can save up to $150 on their energy bill.
Looks like you just made the team, rookie.
Turn to cold with Tide.
And that's the bottom line.
It's got to be Tide.
Energy savings based on average usage from household and relationship. Introducing Venture X, Capital One's new travel card for people always asking,
Where next?
you earn 10x miles on hotels and rental cars, and 5x miles on flights booked through Capital One Travel, and 2x miles on everything else you buy with Venture X. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges. The Venture X card from Capital One.
8th.
What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
And we are back here at OKCPS Coaches Show. A little late response from the crowd, but we're here on CBS Sports Radio 105.3 at Dick's Sporting Goods, 6601 Southwest 3rd. Brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods, SNU, Casey's General Store, Scissortail Waste Solutions, Automax, Grinmore Sneaker Boutiques, and Big O's Pork and Dreams. We've had a busy night tonight. Douglas wrestling, Bailout boys and girls basketball. And now we're sitting here with the world famous Classen SAS Middle School girls basketball coach, Wayne Sutton, the baby brother of Greg Sutton. And then we have the student athlete, Micaiah Moore. Thank you guys for being here on tonight.
Thank you.
So, Coach Sutton, tell us a little bit about your girls basketball team here at Classen SAS Middle School.
Well, we started out with the season and with only having 2 8th graders on the team, just showing them the culture of class and getting them implemented in the team and stuff.
Sure.
So, and there have been some ups and downs through the season with the COVID and stuff going on and all of that, but they put it together.
Absolutely.
They put it together. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, Micaiah, tell me, just kind of describe what your experience was this basketball season.
So starting out this season, it started out pretty slow for us, I would say. So we had to work our way up to where we are like now. So I would say throughout the whole season, we built our team like very well and made sure to encourage each other throughout the season so we can be where we are now.
Gotcha. So tell me, what was your best highlight moment that you feel for you as an individual, but then also about your team?
For me, I would say my best moment was probably championship game personally, because in the first half, I was not on at all. I would say I was doing pretty bad. But as it got to the second half, I turned on. I found myself finding my shot and pushing through it. And then as a team, I would say also the championship game, we found each other during the game, throughout the game, and made sure to encourage each other not to get down on each other. We might have got frustrated here and there, but we played together well.
So, Coach, you described this team as maybe getting off to a slow start, but tell me, what is that one word or phrase that kind of describes the mantra of this Classen SAS Middle School girls basketball team?
Probably discipline, being disciplined and being really coachable. Being disciplined and coachable.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, tell me how did you get to Classen? Where were you coaching before? How did you get to Classen? And then tell me, who was your coaching inspirations?
Well, I ended up at Classen through Coach Malcolm Roberts. Mm-hmm. He asked me to come aboard, and my daughter, she was a 6th grader, so she came on there, and he asked me to coach the 9th grade team.
Did you just say they recruited you guys? No, I'm just messing around.
But
I'm teasing people.
But ended up coming through him, and he pretty much taught me everything, the coaching philosophy and all that stuff, and then my biggest who I look to, my brother, just being around him, watching basketball when I was little. And just being in the gym all the time, just soaking out that knowledge up and that basketball IQ up, seeing you guys too.
Well, it was your brother, and yeah. Greg is obviously older than me, but
yeah.
Just to see him in the gym,
yeah.
his range was just from whenever he really walked in the gym.
Yeah.
That is really,
yeah.
I can't tell people enough that that's not a lie. It's absolutely the truth.
Yeah.
And just to be around him, man, and see
yeah.
the things that he did. And
yeah.
obviously I didn't coach your wife, but she was a student athlete of mine at Oral Roberts University when
yes.
she played basketball.
Yes.
And so I've had fun watching. So,
yes.
Micaiah, tell me, who are your inspirations in terms of what basketball player, man or woman, are you're watching to get inspiration from?
Woman-wise, it would have to be Maya Moore or Paige from UConn, and then men-wise, it would have to be Giannis.
Okay, well those are some very talented people. I got to see Paige play when she was at University of Connecticut. So tell me this. What does practice look like for you? Is Coach a highly intense guy? You guys doing a lot of running? Just describe what that looks like.
I would say Coach is intense, but at the start practice, he's pretty chill. But it's us. We might well, I wouldn't say myself, but, you know, we might catch an attitude or, you know, find ourselves getting frustrated, which would cause him to get aggressive, you know, not aggressive, but, you know, intense. And, you know, we running a lot.
But you wouldn't be the one catching the attitude. It was obviously other players that did that.
Sure, yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Coach, what are some of the things that you're trying to accomplish? This is middle school basketball, but I would have imagined, based on just what I've seen and the way these young men and women, they talk, that their basketball IQs are probably a little further along than what it was previously. So what are some of the things that you're trying to accomplish with your coaching style and implement?
Well, just the fundamentals of the game and the basketball IQ, like you said, and just getting them ready for the next level when they go to high school. How to be coachable, and you know, so yeah.
So let me ask this. We got about a minute left. I asked Douglas wrestlers, and none of them listen to music. But I've been in some basketball locker rooms. What's happening before the game, Coach? What are you playing? What's going through your minds? Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us what you listening to. Your parents are out here, I'm sure. So.
Before the game, I don't even listen to music before the game, if I'm being honest. Sure. I try to, like, exclude myself and, like, zone out everybody before the game, to be honest. Or I'll make a TikTok. I'm not going to lie. I'll make a TikTok or two before the game.
Gotcha. So you're really nervous. You're making TikToks.
Yeah. Well, not nervous, just.
No, I'm just messing around. Hey, listen, we're about to switch up, but tell me who it is out there, Coach, that you would like to say thank you to for what they've done for your basketball program, and then I will let you also, okay.
The class administration, my AD, my wife, she's a big part of what we do. So
she's always on Facebook and all the posts.
And yeah, there's.
Gotcha. Who would you like to thank?
I would definitely thank Coach, Miss Shannon, my teammates for pushing me, and then my mom and dad, of course, because they pushed me to my limits, and I try to play for them. Well,
Coach Sutton, let me tell you, thank you to you and your wife and to your basketball team, man, just for your example and what you bring to Classen SAS Middle School, man. So we appreciate you extremely. So let's give them a hand. We're going to bring in Classen SAS boys basketball team. And as we bring them in, listen, I don't know you guys who are out there listening and potentially even watching on the YouTube channel. It's really cool to just talk to these student athletes and to hear such a level of maturity from them even at young ages. And so this becomes a testament to what parents are doing as well as what's happening in the schools with some of these coaches. So thank you guys so much. We have Coach Graham here, and we have TJ McNeely and Josiah Morales. Let's give them a hand. All right, I'm going to mess with TJ a little bit just because he's an 8th grader and he's already tall as I am. And I used to see his dad at the gym all the time, and so he's been in the weight room, man. So, Coach Graham, tell us a little bit about Classen SAS boys basketball.
Well, first off, I walked into a great situation. That school is getting those kids ready.
Sure.
Getting them ready academically. I walked into a bunch of good kids that were ready to play basketball. They had their grades right. They were coachable. I mean, it was a great situation for me to walk into.
Gotcha.
I walked in there. The only thing I had to do was start talking with the kids. I'm real big on trust, on, you know, let's communicate and let's be truthful to each other. And I went in there with some really talented kids and smart kids, and we had a great season there.
Gotcha. TJ, tell me, man.
Yes, sir.
How was it been? You're 8th grader, right?
Yes, sir.
So how would you summarize this season for yourself?
It was a good season.
It was a good season?
Yeah.
Tell me your highlight moment. Tell me that moment that you're never going to forget about. When you slam dunked it or?
Just like maybe hitting a big shot in a big game and the crowd getting hyped.
Gotcha. Josiah, tell me how's it been for you, sir?
Good.
Yeah, tell me your highlight moment.
Hitting clutch threes.
So you made more than one?
Yeah.
Is that the strong part of your game is your 3-point shot?
Yes, sir.
All right. TJ, tell me what do you think your game is, your strong suit in your game?
Either like passing or finishing.
Sure. Now I'm going to make a judgment here and say you play in the paint, right?
Uh-huh.
But you like to get out and shoot it some?
Of course.
Every big guy does. That's pretty cool. Coach, how would you summarize these guys' games along with your team as well?
Okay, both of them, you know, Josiah doesn't get inside very often. He's definitely.
You should go in there, man.
He's definitely a guy that we bring in to shoot the ball. I had quite a few players this year that could do many things. Part of my job, I think, was trying to showcase all of that and let all those players do things that they like to do, and then do things that are going to help the team.
Gotcha.
And you know, kind of make them understand this is what we need you to do. Take care of this, and then you know you get some little freedom to go.
Gotcha.
Go do what you like to do out there.
So where do you gain inspiration as a coach? Is there a coach out there that you're going to look at how they run practice, some of the sets that they run? Who was that for you?
So, you know, I don't really have one person I'd say that I kind of model it after. Growing up, I played sports. I played football, baseball, and basketball. I had a lot of coaches and a lot of different styles. The main thing that I try to do with my coaching is get a relationship with these guys. Try to let them know that I'm there for them, and I want their game to get better.
Sure.
Really, I want to step back and let them go on the court, make decisions, do things on their own. And, you know, that's kind of my style. I don't know if I really get it from anybody, but the relationships between me and my players is kind of what I really like about coaching.
Gotcha. So, TJ, tell me, who is it that you watch to gain inspiration, and then do you play any other sport besides basketball?
My inspiration, LeBron James.
Now, let me just stop right here with this whole LeBron James debate. I'm going to ask you this question. Do you think he's the greatest basketball player ever?
Of course.
I should have known. You're 14. You don't know better. Where else do you gain inspiration from other than LeBron James? And then do you play any other sport?
Other inspirations, my family, like my dad.
Gotcha. Now, he's somebody I could get with.
I also play football.
Okay. You enjoy that? Do you have a desire to go to the next level and play?
Yes, sir.
Cool beans. What about you, Josiah?
My brothers and Steph Curry.
What did he do last night? Maybe I was sleeping.
Hit 16 threes in the All-Star game.
Let me ask you this question, Josiah, because I think you know. Do you think this stuff is rigged? Like, do they pre-plan? We gonna let Steph go out here and get all of the shine, right? Do you think that happens?
Probably.
I think so too, man. It's almost like the NFL, the playoffs. I thought they was gonna let Tom Brady come back and win the football game, man. I don't know. No, it's all good. I didn't see it all, but I heard he hit a lot of points last night. So Coach, tell me what practice looks like. Is it high intensity? You know, is it more instructions? But tell me what is that you bring to that practice daily?
Usually our practices are based upon how we've been playing earlier in the season.
Sure.
We try to correct mistakes, try to review some things that we struggled with. I don't have high intensity practice. I have more, you know, kind of relaxed practices. We're doing a lot of mental stuff. I want the guys fresh for the games, you know, so that they can give everything on the court at that time.
Gotcha.
We spend a lot of time shooting the ball. That's a big part of the game.
I can play for you, Coach.
Hey. I mean, practices are pretty laid back. We have a lot of fun. We had about 20 kids at practice every day, so you know you got to keep them all busy
gotcha.
But not intense.
Yeah. So TJ, before the game, what are you eating, and what are you listening to?
Well, before every game, I don't eat, but like sometimes, like
you need some nutrition.
Like Sour Patch Kids.
Oh, okay. Sour Patch Kids, bunch of sugar.
And then I listen to NBA YoungBoy.
I heard that name before. I would ask you to say something, but I don't know what he sings. So I'm going to go Google him after we finish.
Okay.
Is it NBA YoungBoy?
Yes, sir.
All right. Josiah.
I don't eat nothing.
Josiah. I'm coming over to class, and I'm going to get you a Snicker bar or something. You're not yourself when you're hungry. Tell me, you know, what are you listening to? You don't listen to anything? You could just go out there and shoot the tray without even a TikTok video? All right, well, not going to get much out of Josiah about that. Last thing, I think we got about a minute left. I'll start on Josiah, and I'll work my way to Coach. Tell me, who out there would you like to say thank you to, right? Who's contributed to you being at Classen and just really been a help for you in your athletic career thus far?
My brothers, my coaches, and yeah.
All right, listen, that's it. Your brothers,
and my mom.
And finally, mom got in the mix. It's just the brothers all the time. TJ, I know who you better say them. They stand right there.
My coaches, Coach Jared, Coach House, Coach Sean, Coach Ice, Coach KJ, my family, my mom, my dad, and my sister.
Gotcha. Coach?
Well, the administration at Classen has been great, and Mr. Pickard, Principal Thomas, Ms. Bonner, and then Chris Mitchell, who was a coach before me. They all helped get me there and have made it just a great experience so far.
Cool. Well, listen, give them a hand. Thanks for joining us tonight here on CBS Sports Radio 105.3 at Dick's Sporting Goods. We're brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods, SNU, Casey's General Store, Scissortail Waste Solutions, Automax, Gren Moore Sneaker Boutiques, and Big O's Pork and Dreams. Get you some pork and dream all night. I'll see y'all next Monday.
Oklahoma City, I'm Miles Perry, and I want you to tune in to my show, Super Prep Live.
Super Prep Live takes an in-depth look at the Oklahoma high school student athlete and what makes he or she become great at what they do. Super Prep Live can be heard on OKC's CBS Sports Radio 105.3 and Instagram Live.
Make sure you tune in and learn about the next great student athlete on Super Prep Live with me, Miles Perry.